Welcome to the Development Planning Unit Virtual Open Day session. We're very pleased to have so many of you here, and we look forward to and hope to meet many of you in person at the beginning of the next academic year. My name is Julian Walker. I'm the Director of the Development Planning Unit, and I'm going to be talking you through the initial stages of this Virtual Open Day and welcoming you to the department. Just to let you know at this point that this session will be recorded, so that people who weren't able to make it in this time slot can view the virtual open day later. In this session, we will start by giving you a brief introduction to the department and an overview of our work and the teaching office here. Secondly, we'll give you an overview of the master's courses and look particularly at 3 of the master's programs today. We looked at other ones on Tuesday this week, but actually the recording will be uploaded in case any of you want to also look at that. We'll then be looking at engagement in practice, so how the learning and teaching offer at the DPU engages with issues to do with practice. We'll then also look at dissertations and research opportunities that you will have as a student here at the DPU, as well as career prospects and support, and then have some space for any questions that you have that we can give answers to in the call. So, first of all, welcome to the Bartlett Development Planning Unit. And we're very proud as a unit that we have extremely high rankings in some of the industry rankings across the academic sector. So first of all, UCL has been ranked as a top 10 university in the world. It's been ranked the 9th best university in the world for the 2nd year in a row, marking its 13th year amongst the top 10 universities in the QS World University Rankings. More specifically, our faculty, the Bartlett, is ranked #1 in the world in architecture and the built environment for the 2nd year in a row, and remains #1 in the UK for the 10th year in a row, again with the QS rankings. And also to stress, not just looking at the university, but London as a place to be, has been ranked the best student city in the QS Best Student Cities Ranking 2025. So that's a bit about UCL and our particular program. Zooming into the Bartlett Development Planning Unit in particular, our department, the Bartlett Development Planning Unit conducts research, teaching and practice to support planning for socially just and sustainable development in the Global South. This year, we're celebrating 70 years as an academic department. So actually, the Development Planning Unit was set up in 1954 in the Architectural Association and subsequently moved to University College London in the 1970s. It was set up at the time with the intention of challenging the dominant post-colonial planning paradigm and associated planning education system, which was based in the UK, but working internationally, and which was very much about exporting British planning norms to the colonies and the newly independent states. And this didn't serve the realities of cities in the Global South or the aspirations of their cities. So the DPU's birth was very much in relation to challenging those problematic planning norms and the ways that they were being exported. Today, the Development Planning Unit continues to critically engage with development policies and interventions, especially in cities and urban areas, working in partnership with a global network of urban actors who are all devoted to promoting equality and sustainability in cities and other development processes. If you can go back, Carmen, not quite yet. Thanks. Just thinking about the DPU as a place that hopefully you're considering coming to study, the DPU in many ways is a special place to study, building on this history. And it might be worth you thinking about what makes us different from other departments you might be considering for your postgraduate study. So first of all, we have a very strong practice orientation and a focus on actionable knowledge. So this means that our research and our teaching are not purely academic, but they aim to create and share knowledge that learns from engagement with development practice by professionals and communities, and also knowledge which is specifically designed to support policy and programmatic interventions. And what that means for you as students is that our teaching and research is embedded in a global network of partnerships with equivalent built through this practice engagement. You'll hear a bit more about this in relation to the 3 specific programs you're going to hear about today, but this means we work with a really long-established network of urban actors, including community groups, groups of the urban poor, and different organizations working actively in practice in development processes. Next slide, please. Okay, before we get to this, I just want to introduce Roisin Breen, who's one of our professional services team. So in addition to the academic team who are involved in the teaching, one of the groups who will really support you in your time here at the DPU and in UCL more widely is our professional services team. And actually they're critical, particularly in supporting you with any questions you have about the applications process. So Roisin, if you just want to say hi and talk a bit about the PS role.
Hello, hi. Yes, as Julian said, my name is Roisin and I am one of the program administrators here at the DPU. I work alongside the program team, which is a team of 4 people, and we will support the students from the point of application until the completion of your master's and everything included in between. So yes, as Julian said, if during the application process you have any questions or you need any information, please reach out to us. I will leave our email address in the chat for everybody so they know the best way to get in contact with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Roisin. So at the Development Planning Unit, we have 7 master's programs, which are listed here. So Building and Urban Design and Development, Development Administration and Planning, Environment and Sustainable Development, Health and Urban Development, Social Development Practice, Urban Development Planning, Urban Economic Development, and we also have an MPhil PhD program. So we'll be talking about 3 of these master's programs today. And as I said before, if you're interested in any of the others, we had a virtual open day on Tuesday, but the recording will be posted on our website with links in case you want to look into some of those alternative programs.
Thanks. I'll just take over from Julian. Thanks, Julian, for this nice introduction. And hello, everyone who has joined us today. So I'm Raktim. I am the co-program leader for the Master's Program, Development Administration and Planning, along with my colleague, Giorgio. I am also the Director of Studies for DPU. So those of you who are kind of planning to apply for Development Administration and Planning, so I'll just quickly go through what this program is all about. So Development Planning and Administration Program, which is abbreviated as DAP. So the program particularly equips students with analytical, methodological, and practical expertise, which are necessary to make a very critical understanding of development practice and makes a very positive contribution to the development efforts in countries where we majorly work. We also give students different forms of tools to kind of look at problems of widening economic and social inequality in terms of intersectoral, how intersectoral integration is possible, how economic and social diversification is also possible. And that's how we look at development within our program. Thank you. So this is just a snapshot from some of the practical exposure visit that we had in the previous year. So this particular image comes from Sao Paulo, Brazil, where we conduct our practice engagement, which we call as overseas practice engagement. So we have I will just briefly tell you about overseas practice engagement. So this is a kind of core module for Development Administration and Planning program. And it runs over 3 terms. And in the end of term 3, we go to a place and we partner with different NGOs. So currently we have 6 NGOs in Brazil, and we also work with an university in Sao Paulo. Next one, please. So this is one of our alumni who is now working at IFAD. Historically, we have seen over the years, so our students work at various sectors, which can be UN Habitat, which are more of intergovernment organizations. Some people also work at local NGOs. Some people also work with city government. We also receive a lot of civil servant from various parts of the world. So some of them also go back to their civil service job in their respective country. So the thing which I would like to highlight, so the program is very interdisciplinary in nature, which DPU is also, and we kind of engage students into critical thinking. So I'll stop here and I'll hand over to Lisa.
Hi folks, thanks so much for joining us today. My name's Lisa and I co-lead our Health and Urban Development Programme with my colleague Professor Haim Jacobi. Our programme is the only master's course in the UK that focuses specifically on urban health. And it's important to note, I think, that UCL conducts really important work on health and the built environment and is home to some of the world's best researchers on health and cities. In our programme, we study some of the most critical urban health challenges of our time, and together we'll explore how they can be tackled. We know that cities provide many of the services and amenities that we need to live a good and healthy life, but they also have the potential to contribute to poor health and exacerbate health inequalities. We know, for example, that non-communicable and communicable diseases impact the world's poorest the most, and health challenges and inequalities are costly to individuals and society as a whole, and they can prevent us all from living fulfilling lives. Some of the most significant challenges that we face in cities are related to health. For example, rapidly growing cities are beset with pollution, congestion, and produce conditions where many people can't meet their basic needs. We also know that climate change, food and energy insecurity, and conflict are all challenges relating to urban health, and they significantly impact on people's physical and mental well-being. We also know that these big global challenges produce massive inequalities and disparities. So in HUD, we explore how socially just policy making, community and bottom-up action, and sensitive city planning and design can help provide us with the pathways and solutions that we need to address these significant health challenges. Our programme looks at the impacts of urbanisation on physical and mental health. It considers the role of urban form, looks at urban social interactions, and identifies the urban policies that help to reproduce inequalities. So you'll see some of our aims on the slide here. So we look at relationships between planning and health particularly, and look at how these relationships are shaped by institutions, politics, community action, economic relationships, and our built and natural environment. Like Raptim's course, we take an interdisciplinary approach to urban health, and we engage with practical and theoretical perspectives and tools. What's also crucial is that you'll learn how to develop and apply concepts to address urban health challenges and co-create city-level solutions with our partners. Slide 2, please. We have a number of core modules, but I think one of our central modules is our practice module, which includes an extended overseas stay. And during this time, you'll work in small groups, and you'll conduct a live research-based project with an NGO or other kind of partner. And this module really helps you to put your learning into practice, and it draws all the elements of your degree together. Our students have worked on some fantastic projects, and you can see them in the field in Marrakesh here on the slide, where we collaborated with an overseas partner called the High Atlas Foundation. We explored gender inequalities around sanitation access, young people's mental health, green spaces and well-being, and post-disaster recovery after the 2003 earthquake. Next year, we'll again go to Marrakesh and we'll look at urban health and climate change. Our students' work is published each year as a research report, and we share that with our partners. As well as doing practice-focused master's courses, you'll have the opportunity to, master's modules, you'll have the opportunity to specialise. You can take optional modules in disaster recovery, food, sanitation, or transport. Our master's provides a solid grounding in urban health research, providing you with the research methodologies and tools and an analysis experience that you'll need to apply to practice. As I say, it's interdisciplinary, and it attracts students from a wide variety of fields. We have architects, planners, people from medical studies and health, economics, business studies, development, and the social sciences more widely. So it's a really nice environment to meet a mix of different people from different backgrounds. So we provide you with the economic skills and with the academic and professional skills to become involved in this growing and important field. And next slide, please. And thank you. Our brilliant graduates like Fui here go on to work for international organizations like the World Health Organization. They may become public health professionals working in local government, or they may go on to work in consultancy or research, and a number go on to work to conduct PhD research. So come to the Bartlett and do HUD and explore how we can live together well into the next urban century. Thanks so much.
I'm happy to take over. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you everyone else who's given a very nice introduction to DPU and the courses. So I co-lead the MSc in Social Development Practice, also called SDP, along with Dr. Afia Afena. To give you an overview of the course, the Social Development Practice MSc cultivates reflexive social development practitioners with the theoretical foundations and practical orientation needed to promote human well-being and equitable citizenship in the global south, but also among the global majority. Our course is designed to address the challenges of social diversity and globalization, particularly in urban contexts, and it offers a critical approach to people-centered development. If you can go to the next slide, please. So very specifically, if I could talk about two main objectives, MSc SDP is meant to give students a solid grounding in social analysis, skills, and perspectives rooted in social theory around issues of identity, inequality, and social change processes. It also provides an understanding of the role of the social development practitioner and how social development interventions can best support citizenship claims of people in the global south. And in doing so, we consolidate the understandings that students develop by engaging them in practice within contexts where you can be reflective of real world practice characterized by diversity, inequality, and conditions of uncertainty. So very much issues of diversity are centered at the ethos of our practice. Like all other MSc courses, SDP is also a 12-month course that integrates lectures, seminars, workshops. It provides an intensive opportunity to learn through practice experiences and with a focus on people-centered development approaches to international development, and as increasingly which relates to an increasing reflection in the policy priorities of major development organizations. Our core modules, in terms of the teaching and learning approach that SDP follows, we deliver SDP MSc through a range of lectures, seminars, workshops, and tutorials in which our students are actively involved in activities such as discussions, debates, and presentations. We place a strong focus on learning through practice, particularly through our practice module. In the social development practice module, which is like all other, you've heard from all other program leaders, which leads to the overseas practice engagement. We embed a students' understanding of social development practice through the overseas engagement. If you could go to the next slide, please. Just to give a little bit of good news that the MSc SDP has secured the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship Scheme, which means that there is one position for those applying to MSc SDP to get the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship Scheme. And it is the aim of the CSSS is to assist students from developing Commonwealth countries who are of excellent academic caliber, but for financial hardship reasons would not otherwise be able to study at the DPU. The scheme allows you to benefit from postgraduate study, particularly at the DPU, and if you're interested in the SDP program, which will help you contribute to the development of your home countries when you as you intend to go back. So this is again a testimonial from one of our graduating students, Ritika Deb, and she's many students like Ritika talks about how the program has been transformative in terms of gaining skills, transferable skills, and which helps them to apply in different development contexts, particularly in relation to planning, designing, and implementing some of the sort of aspects of the program. If I can hand over to my colleague.
Hi everyone, my name is Azadeh Mashayekhi and I am a leader of the MSc dissertation module at DPU. The dissertation project is an independent research project that the students develop in the last term, and the dissertation fellowship scheme is a very exciting and productive part of this final project for our students, where students develop their dissertation topic connected to a research area proposed by either an external partner in the development sector or an ongoing research project at DPU. Within this scheme, students can work on their dissertation topic relevant to an external research partner or a research project. Within the schemes, also we give students sufficient intellectual freedom and space to develop their own research topic that connects to the interest of the partner project and in dialogue with them. The scheme offers a great opportunity to students to collaborate with partner organizations that in most cases they have a long-lasting relationship with DPU and academic staff who have been working with them on research projects or consultancy projects over the years. The program established in 2017, and since then the scheme has benefited more than 300 students. Next slide, Carmen, please. The fellowship connects students with researchers, practitioners, and organizations' research interests. And within this scheme, we work with various partner organizations, as you see some of the logos on your left-hand side. Within the partner organization varies from NGOs, research centers, charities, local authorities. Some of them are based in London, but many of them are located in different parts of the world. And the staff who act as a supervisor facilitate this connection between the students and the students' research and the partner or partner organization. And the interactions with partners and research projects have been a great preparation for professional life. For example, in some cases, the program led to the direct employment of the students by the partner organization, or help a student developing their PhD proposal and winning a scholarship. Or even we had a case that the fellowship helped a student that was at the time employed, moving to a more senior position within the organization where they were already working. Next slide, please, Carmen. And each year, students strongly value the opportunity to be part of a larger research initiative and having their dissertation contributing directly to the work of practitioners and organizations in different parts of the world. Comments from students are overwhelmingly positive. Here we are having different testimonies from different students from various cohorts in the past, that working with the partner was a fantastic learning experience. The partner provided great guidance and feedback on my research. Helped to clarify my thoughts. It was a pleasure for me to carry out research in collaboration with the partner. Next, please, Carmen. more testimonies that I had a lot of freedom throughout the process. The fellowship encouraged me to explore ideas with confidence and boldness. I managed to find an approach that both contributed to the fellowship and aligned with my own interests. And I think this is, again, very important to emphasize that despite the kind of proposed research from the organization, and it's a very fixed topic, but within that fixed topic, students get a lot of flexibility to really develop their own independent individual research that resonates and connects with the partner organization research projects. Next, please. The fellowship helped me to see the real world benefits of doing academic research. This connection between the research and practice is very much valued by many of our students. Meeting the partner to see how the dissertation could add value was really beneficial. I learned how academic research can potentially make a real difference. Again, understanding in many cases, connecting the theories to the practice on the ground was very much valued by our students. And the last one, it says it was good to think of the dissertation as something beyond the MSc program, which is also, we are very proud of this because we are able to offer this opportunity to students to kind of think more professionally about the future of their work and career development. Next, please. And finally, upon the completion of the dissertation, students receive feedback both from the DPU staff and supervisor and the partner organization. And we ask them to submit a more refined version of their dissertation that can resonate and connect to the much bigger audience. And in many cases, we publish outstanding and excellent dissertation projects in the format of DPU working paper series, or blog post, or students collaborate with the partner members of the partner organizations or DPU staff to publish a peer-reviewed academic papers in journals in the areas of planning, environmental studies, and policies. I'm happy to answer any questions you have during the Q&A. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Giorgio. I'm here today to share some information about the development workshops, which are a crucial component of your journey at the DPU. They are an occasion to foster a reflection at the departmental level, whereby students are asked to discuss across programs some relevant issues in relation to development nowadays. The idea of making them work across programs is also about leveraging DPU strongly interdisciplinary character. As you can see in the slides, some recent topics we navigated have been about the urban dimensions of inequality. We try to understand how processes of urbanization get spatialized and how the concept of social justice relates to development discourse and practice. Another recent development workshop has looked at the development at the time of decolonization, trying to unpack and piece together some of the current debates on decolonizing development and what this might mean in both academia and practice. We also have a development workshops too, which normally happens toward the end of the first term, and is the one that you see there featured as the third bullet point that aims basically to reflect on ethics and positionality of working in the field for both researchers and practitioners. It's an expansion on the discussion on decolonization and, if you want, on social justice, and attempts to spell out the challenges that, as I said, both researchers and practitioners encounter in their interaction with the multiplicity of stakeholders. some of these stakeholders sometimes are present in the workshop themselves. In the recent past, as you can see in the slide, we had the presence of a stakeholder from Hargeisa in Somaliland. More recently, we are engaged with a neighborhood forum in London. As Azadeh mentioned, I'm very happy to respond to any follow-up question you might have. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. So you've heard a bit more from the different programs and some of the wider learning activities in the Development Planning Unit about the learning environment and how we try and foster student learning, particularly related to this practice orientation we talked about. But you're probably also concerned about and wondering about what this means for your future employability and career prospects, and also how we can support you in your time here with us at the Development Planning Unit in terms of planning for your careers. So just to start by saying, we have some data on the career prospects of students studying at the Development Planning Unit. So 93.4% of DPU graduates were in work or further study 15 months after graduation. So actually, we can see the progress onto other sort of career areas. And we see students working in a very diverse global range of locations. So we've actually had feedback from DPU alumni working in 57 countries around the world, both countries they're returning to, but also people traveling to work in different contexts. The top industry sectors for the Bartlett DP graduates in work are policy and government, and I think you already heard from the three programs some of the specific places in which people work, but we see people working in government both in terms of national ministries on particular relevant areas of development, but also we see people working in local and municipal government. We've seen people working in different ways in construction, the built environment and property, so that was 40% of our graduates, and particularly a strong focus of our graduates tends to be in areas to do with housing and built environment and public spaces. We see people working in charities, non-government organizations, and international development, and this ranges between, for example, particular agencies or networks looking at development issues. So we have a large number of students working in C40, which is a network of cities and local government working on environmental sustainability and climate change issues. We also have people working for a wide range of non-government organizations, and some of them mentioned in relation to the particular masters. And also international development, both across the United Nations network. So we've had people working in a range of different UN bodies, but also in, for example, development banks. So the African Development Bank, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and the World Bank. And I guess that crosses a bit into accountancy and financial services, where banking and development bump into each other, and also other scientific and technical professions. And particularly one of the areas that many of our students go into is further academic posts and academic work or further study towards an academic career. If we have the next slide, in relation to specifically how we at the DPU and UCL can support you in terms of your career prospects, we have a number of different interventions that are explicitly designed to help you not just as students in learning, but in terms of thinking and planning towards your future careers. So one of the first things we have is a series of departmental level careers sessions. And on the next slide, I'll tell you a bit about them, but we can wait till that. And so as a student of the Bartlett DPU, you'll be connected through these career sessions with professionals, researchers, and academics who have long-standing careers in relevant sectors and industries, and they can share insights through this sort of series of career sessions. And in your time here, you'll be led by a member of academic staff who acts as your careers tutor. We also have a series of events which aren't specifically career focused, but they offer you the opportunity to connect with alumni and academics and practitioners from the UK and internationally. And these events are open to all students and provide a really important space for networking yourselves in the sectors and disciplinary areas that you're interested in. So this includes our flagship Dialogues in Development lecture series, also film screenings and other talks with academics around their research projects. And if you look at our website, you can see a list of the kind of issues and interventions that we cover in the Dialogues in Development series. Another thing we offer is an alumni networking platform. So recognizing that actually a lot of your career advancement could be through networking with the wider DPU community and other students who've been through the DPU process and recognize the value of your learning as a DPU alumna, and also learning from them in terms of their career trajectories. So actually also as part of the careers event, we invite alumni back to talk about their own career journeys after they've left the DPU. Another specific area, which is about building your professional capacities, is the Bartlett's Building a Better Future consultancy project. So this is something that you have the chance to sign up to. It's a voluntary extracurricular activity, and it gives you the opportunity to collaborate in a multidisciplinary team to tackle a real-world challenge in the built environment, equipping you with the in-demand skills sought after by employers. So this actually also works with potential employers and organizations active in the built environment sector. So in the past, they've involved organizations such as Borough Happold, Hawley, Atkinson's Realis, and these are consultancies working in the built environment sector, as well as local councils and not-for-profit organisations such as C40 Cities that I mentioned before, or the Greater London Authority and other local authorities in London. So really to get the chance to try out some of those professional works and learn very specific skills there. Also, in addition to the departmental careers series, you also have career support from across the university and UCL careers. And this also happens at the faculty level, which gives you in the Bartlett access to a mix of faculty-wide and department-specific support activities. So these are open across the faculty, and they include, for example, industry panel discussions, interactive workshops, spotlighting key sector graduates typically venture into, such as construction consultancy and urban planning and development. So if we can move to the next slide. Oh, sorry, I thought that was in the slide. So I had a series of the particular careers events that happen within departments. Sorry, I thought it was on a slide, but it was in my notes. But so really we're looking at things like presentations by alumni, presentations by people working in the sector, and also a number of sessions giving you from careers experts specific skills that will be helpful in the workplace in terms of doing your CV, in terms of making applicants, and also in terms of how you engage with employers when you're already in the workplace. So this has just been an overview of the teaching and learning environment in UCL, what we're trying to offer you in terms of our programs and the wider departmental interventions, and also some thinking about the career support we'll offer you. If you have any further questions, you can also get in touch with the program team. So all our email addresses are on the website if you have specific program related questions. And you also, I would encourage you to look at our website, which has a range of resources.